6 days away from the final game of the NFL season. Sucks that, this football season is coming to an end. As we say every year, don't be sad that it's over. Be glad that it happened. Prediction for the Super Bowl will be happening on Wednesday, of course, and I'll also review some of my hot takes from the NFL season. And also review some of the most overrated and underrated teams that I was talking about before the season started for college football. All I gotta say about that one is that not age well. We're gonna stick at college football for this one. Welcome back to Grizzly Talks Football, ladies and gentlemen. We have got Big 12 team tier list for 2025. Gonna try to do Big 12 and ACC this week, and also the Super Bowl predictions. Also gonna go offer some, hot takes on like Tuesday and Wednesday. That's for next week. But anyways, if you are enjoying the series so far, make sure you get this up, hit that thumbs up, hit the red subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos. It helps the channel a lot. This is the Grizz as always, and without further delay, let's get straight to it. We got the usual tiers. We got championship, conference contenders, above average, middle of the pack, disappointing, and of course the dungeon of ass. Let's get things kicked off with Arizona. 9-4 season, knocked off 2 ranked opponents in the process. I think they definitely belong in above average. They actually finished 4th in the Big 12. They just finished outside the top 25 thanks to a failed comeback against SMU in the Holiday Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Respected to the conference, they actually finished with the 3rd highest score in offense and the 4th in scoring defense in the conference. So they were very good at scoring points and also not allowing points from their opponents most of the time. Did suck that they got blown out by Iowa State. Of course, lost to my Cougars in double overtime and also lost at Houston. Fafita was solid this year. 3,200 yards, 29 touchdowns, 6 picks, and also ran for 3 scores. Leader in rushing was Ismail Mahdi with 850 yards, 4 touchdowns, 9 touchdowns for Riscano. And also receiving was led by Chris Hudson, 60 catches for 764 yards and 4 scores. 3 different players had 4 interceptions for the defense. Dalton Johnson, Javion Cole, and Trayden Stukes. Not a bad second year for Brett Brennan. Next up, we got Arizona State. They did beat 2 ranked opponents, but finished 8-5. Ooh, I don't know. They were 5th in the Big 12. I guess, more like middle of the pack kind of team right there. High tier though, by the way. High in the middle of the pack, 8-5, started the year as the 11th best team in the country and finished unranked. But, like I said before, knocked off a ranked TCU and a ranked Texas Tech, believe it or not. They were the Red Raiders' only loss in Big 12 play. No Cam Scatterboo, not a huge problem, but yeah, Kenny Dillingham has done a pretty good job of revitalizing the national relevance of Arizona State, I suppose. Did go 2-1 against ranked opponents. Unfortunately, they did lose to Duke in their bowl game. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Actually, no, that's pretty accurate. Fortunately for Arizona State, they finished 12th in scoring offense. They did finish 7th in scoring defense as far as the Big 12 is concerned, but that's not a great look. Sam Leavitt did get injured, and Jeff Sims had to take over. The quarterbacks combined had almost 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 9 picks. Not terrible. Of course, rushing was led by Raleek Brown. Good choice to go to Arizona State because he ended up with 1,100 yards, 6 yards per carry, and 4 touchdowns on the ground. No surprise here, but future first-round pick Jordan Tyson led receiving with 61 catches, 700 yards, 8 touchdowns. Hopefully without Sam Leavitt, maybe Kenny Dillingham will be able to turn this team around. I hope not. I'd rather less contenders in the Big 12. It's just us, Texas Tech, and Utah. Thank you very much. Actually, no, screw Utah. Just us and Texas Tech. Maybe Arizona. Next up, we got Baylor. I don't know what to say about this, except they were disappointing. I do apologize if you can't see the logos very well. Yeah, I don't know how to change it to lights. Anyways, Baylor was disappointing. They did have a ranked win, which is pretty good. Fortunately, they went 1-2 against ranked opponents. Couple close games on the schedule. Houston was a close loss. TCU was a close loss. Of course, SMU in double overtime. Auburn, they lost to them at home by 14 points. Yeah, Auburn. A Hugh Freeze-led Auburn, by the way. Dude, I had these guys as high as Big 12 contenders, and they just fell off a cliff. I thought they were going somewhere with their new coach, but I guess I was wrong. Now they're going to have DJ Lagway starting at Baylor? Oh boy. Bears finished 11th in the Big 12 standings. They finished, I believe, 8th in scoring offense. Oh no, they finished 7th in the Big 12 in scoring offense. Just a shame their defense was one of the worst in the entire conference. Only Oklahoma State had a worse defense than them in the Big 12. Sawyer Robinson wasn't even that bad. Like, he had such a high start. I thought he was going to be a contender for the Heisman Trophy after the first couple weeks. 3,600 yards, 31 touchdowns, 12 picks. You know, Bryson Washington, 788 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. Robinson also had 3 touchdowns. But what the hell happened to Dawson Pendergrass? I thought he was going to be a good guy for the run game, but I didn't see him all year. Then, of course, Josh Cameron led receiver with 69 catches, 872 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Hopefully, Dave Aranda gets his shit together and turns this Baylor team around quick. Next up, we got the BYU Cougars. They were absolute conference championship contenders. I mean, they were in the Big 12 championship game, damn it. Only 2 losses were against Texas Tech, and they actually faced one ranked opponent other than those Red Raiders. That was Utah. Not many people want to play it. That's all I have for defense for, you know, the lackluster schedule. And also, we had our first 12-win season since 2001, so there's that. Oh, I almost forgot. We played another ranked team. That was Georgia Tech in the Pop-Tart Bowl, and we ended up winning that 25-21 after coming back down 21-10. Finished in the Big 12 as the second best team in the conference. Finished with the 3rd highest ranked scoring offense in the conference, and finished in the 5th position of scoring defense. Barry Botmeyer's electric. Can't wait to see what he does next year. 3,000 yards, 15 touchdowns passing, and 11 touchdowns rushing with 500 yards. Speaking of rushing, LJ Martin, I think, led the Big 12 in rushing with 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns on the ground. As for receiving, well, our leader was actually Parker Kingston. 66 catches, 924 yards, and 5 scores. Don't forget Chase Roberts' 6 scores and 800 yards on 54 catches as well. Satake had this team cooking this decade. Hopefully he finishes the job and hopefully brings BYU at least a conference title, baby. But with so many good seniors leaving, that might have been our best shot. I don't know. Next up, we got Cincinnati. Yeah, they were middle of the pack. No question about that. Yeah, that's perfect. I know, I'm very sorry that you could barely see that, but yes, Cincinnati is in middle of the pack. If you look a little closer, they are in middle of the pack. They do have a ranked win over Iowa State. Just a shame they couldn't beat the other 2 ranked opponents, Utah and BYU. Did get blown out by Navy in the Liberty Bowl. Navy had back-to-back pretty solid years in American? What world are we living in? Oh wait, this is like 2015 to 16 again, isn't it? Except a little different. 1 and 2 against ranked opponents, actually finished 6th in the conference in scoring offense. As for scoring defense, they finished 12th. Brendan Sorsby is going to Texas Tech, and he finished his time with Cincinnati with a solid stat line. 2,800 yards, 27 touchdowns to only 5 picks, and he also ran for 9 scores. Tawee Walker led rushing with 700 yards and 4 touchdowns. And for receiving, that will be Cyrus Allen. 51 catches, 674 yards, but 13 touchdowns. Yikes. Texas Tech, you got a good one. Next up, we got Colorado. Ass. There isn't much to say. They really went from 4th in the conference to 2nd to last? That's horrible. Finished 3-9 with 1 conference win against the ranked Iowa State. They play 3 ranked teams. What else is there to say? Lost to Georgia Tech, who would go on to play us in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Lost to Houston by 16. Lost by 14 to TCU. Got blown out by Arizona and Utah. Lost to West Virginia. Ranked Iowa State, Wyoming, and Delaware were their only wins. Terrible. Can't win without your kids, Dion. Let's face it. Colorado finished 15th in the conference in scoring offense, which is absolutely awful. And only, I believe, 3 teams had allowed more points than Colorado in the Big 12. Actually, no, it was 3 teams, so they finished 13th in scoring offense, or scoring defense. It was a total train wreck. I mean, no runner had more than 400 yards. The highest number of rushing touchdowns was 5. Keane Salter was the best quarterback of the bunch, and he only had 1,400 yards, 10 touchdowns, 7 picks. At least Amari Miller looked good, and he's going to Arizona State. 45 catches, 800 yards, and 8 touchdowns. I mean, that was the only bright spot of the offense. I'm not going to lie, Dion, you might be cooked, buddy. Next up, we got Houston Cougars. I'll put them at above average. 10-3 record. Got a ranked win. I mean, beat LSU in the Texas Bowl. Like, what more can you ask for from this Houston Cougars team? They definitely overachieved. I mean, BYU might be the biggest overachiever, but Houston's definitely up there in the biggest overachievers out there. Actually started the season 7-1, then unfortunately did lose to West Virginia. That was a little bit of a trap game and lost at home to TCU. Every single one of those losses were at home, which is pretty disappointing. Houston ended up finishing 7th in points for the entire conference, the scoring offense. They also finished 7th in scoring defense. As far as other stats go, Connor Whiteman was solid, 2,700 yards, 25 touchdowns to 9 picks. Dean Connors, 977 yards, 6 touchdowns on the ground, and Connor Whiteman also ran for 11 scores. Mari Thomas was definitely his best receiver, 67 catches for just under 1,000 yards and 12 scores. Okay, I see you, Willie Fritz. You might be going somewhere. Keep it going, brother. Next up, we got Iowa State. I gotta be honest, that loss to Colorado definitely puts him in middle of the pack. Not a single ranked win on this schedule. I mean, you guys really ran from conference runner-ups to 7th in the Big 12. Had that Iowa kind of game against Iowa, of course. Beat Kansas State in Dublin. You know, lost 4 straight games after starting 5-0. Like, that's embarrassing. I mean, you won your last 3 games and then you decided to opt out of a bowl game because your coach, Matt Campbell, decided to Penn State. Oh yeah, and you almost lost to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State! As far as the scoring offense and defense, in scoring offense, they finished 12th. I mean, at least you scored second. At least you got second in scoring defense, at least. So, I guess there's that. Bronco Bats, not gonna lie, a little disappointing. 16 touchdowns, 2,500 yards, 9 picks. Also ran for 8 scores, so he wasn't so bad, but he was a little disappointing from last year. Carson Hansen led a rushing, 950 yards and 6 scores. And the best receiver was Brett Eskildson with 30 catches, 526 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Things are going to be a little different in Iowa State, and yeah, your best coach is gone. Let's see what the new coach can muster up. It'll start off ugly, but hopefully for you guys it will get better. Maybe. Up next we got Kansas. I'm sorry, you guys don't have a ranked win, and you went 5-7. You're going disappointing. Started off hot, like 4-2 with 3 blowout wins against, well, you know, weak competition compared to, you know, their conference prestige. That was Fresno State, Wagner, and West Virginia. After that 4-2 start, however, they only won 1 game in the last 6. Played 2 ranked opponents and almost beat Utah, but yeah, that did not happen. As for scoring offense and defense, Kansas finished 10th in scoring offense and also 10th in scoring defense as well. Jalen Daniels this year, he wasn't horrible. 2,500 yards, 22 touchdowns, only 7 picks, and ran for 4 scores. Daniel Highshaw was the best runner. 124 carries, 587 yards, and 5 touchdowns. LaShawn Williams, 7 touchdowns, and 560 yards rushing. Of course, the best receiver was no shadow of a doubt, Emmanuel Henderson Jr. 45 catches, 766 yards, 5 touchdowns. Lance Leipold brings stability to Kansas. Hopefully, he can get you guys back on track for perhaps a bowl game. Maybe even get you guys ranked again. I mean, Clark Lee did it. Why can't Kansas? Don't get me started on Kurt Cinetti. Next up, we got Kansas State. Disappointing. Very, 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 very disappointing. Started ranked. You might have been, besides Arizona State, the highest ranked team in the conference that was in the preseason top 25. And you proceeded to go 6-6. 0-3 against ranked opponents. Had a close game with FCS North Dakota. Lost to an Army team that lost to Tarleton State. Did almost beat Utah, but unfortunately your defense couldn't defend shit. 9th in scoring offense in the conference is not horrible, I guess. Somehow the defense also finished 9th. Avery Johnson was a little mid, 2,300 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 picks. Also ran for 8 scores. Wait, one of their players I didn't remember. It was Dylan Edwards, right? He's going to Kansas? What the hell is he doing over there? Anyways, the leader in rushing was actually Joe Jackson. 911 yards rushing, 5.4 yards to carry, and 8 scores. Leader receiving was Jace Brown. No surprise there. 41 catches, 712 yards, 5 touchdowns. Chris Kleiman was the original coach. He's gone, and now it's Colin Klein that's going to be your head coach now. former offensive coordinator of Texas A&M. Hey, former Heisman contender for y'all. Maybe he's got something stirring the pot. Only one way to find out. Next up, we got Oklahoma State. I think we already know where this is going. Hit it, John. Ass. Is there really anything to say? Only win was against the FCS school. They couldn't even beat Tulsa. I mean, there were some close conference games there and then at the end of the season, but by then it was just like this team had no energy. Nothing. Not to mention, they fired longtime head coach Mike Gundy. We respect what you have done for the Oklahoma State program, but good things must come to an end eventually. About the scoring offensive defense, let's just say Oklahoma State finished dead last in both of them. I guess the only good thing about this team was the run game with Rodney Fields 600 yards in the score. That was basically it. McAva Freeman was pretty nice. 53 catches, 481 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Eric Morris is coming into town, and he's bringing a lot of his North Texas players with him. Damn you, Eric. Well, let's see if the Oklahoma State Mean Green, or should we call them Oklahoma State Mean Orange now, can do in the next season. I'm predicting maybe below mid-table because they're also mixing in with a couple of the Oklahoma State players that decided to stay. Next up, we got TCU Horned Frogs. I can actually put them in, 9-4 team. Yeah, I mean, 4 losses were in conference play, and they did finish 7th in the Big 12, so I think middle of the pack, but high end of that. You got 2 ranked wins at least. It's just a shame you couldn't win the other 2 games. Oh wait, it was just BYU that you lost to. Actually did finish 9-4 and finished in the final AP poll of the season. Offense actually ranked 5th in the conference, believe it or not. And as far as defense, they finished, I believe, 9th. So not a bad season for the Horned Frogs and Stony Dykes. Josh Hoover, he was pretty decent. He wasn't half bad, 3,400 yards, 29 touchdowns, did throw 13 picks. Russian leader, Jeremy Payne, 623 yards rushing and 5 scores. Eric McAllister was easily the best receiver with 72 catches, 1,200 yards, and 10 touchdowns. Things are looking up for the Horned Frogs, much to my dismay. Oh yeah, I almost forgot, Jamel Johnson had 5 picks. Bud Clark, I can't believe he's still on the team. 4 interceptions, one of them returned for a touchdown. Oh, he is a senior, so he'll be going to probably the NFL draft. Maybe like a 5th or 6th rounder? Maybe. Next up, oh boy, we got Texas Tech. Yep. They're just blowing every team out of the water. Except for Arizona State for some reason. Played a total of 4 ranked games, 2 of them against the same opponent in BYU, blew them out both times. Actually, besides Arizona State, they pretty much blew out every opponent they played. Then they proceeded to get shut out in the playoff by Oregon. But what they did this year, incredible. And as for scoring offensive defense, they were in the top in both categories. I mean, in scoring defense, they blow out the next best team by almost 100 points. That's how elite their defense was. Brendan Sorcy will be a great addition. I mean, Barrett Morton wasn't bad either, though. 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. The run game, of course, Cam Dickey, 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. Jacoby Williams, 868 yards, 6 touchdowns. That was a great 1-2 punch. And the best receiver was, believe it or not, Caleb Douglas, 54 catches, 846 yards, 7 touchdowns. I think 4 different players had 600 plus receiving yards, which is pretty nice. Oh, and 5 plus touchdowns. Jacob Rodriguez was a Bednarik Award winner. Bryce Pollock got 5 picks. David Bailey actually had a lot of sacks. I think he was on first team All-American along with Mr. Rodriguez. What a year for the Red Raiders, man. Known for an air raid offense, actually has All-Americans on defense. That's pretty surprising. That's what Joey Maguire can do, apparently. And they're only going to get stronger thanks to this whole NIL thing. Oh, hey, Texas Tech, by the way, I do apologize for underestimating you. I was not familiar with your game, and boy, did I pay for it. Next up, we got the UCF Knights. Scott Front's first year, I mean, it started out how it did the first time he went to UCF. I mean, 5-7, right around the same kind of mark. Unfortunately, did finish 13th in the Big 12, much to the dismay of every UCF fan, but you know, this is where the build-up starts to come in. Did blow out Bill Belichick's team, had a couple close games in conference play, just didn't do enough. Believe it or not, UCF's Scoring offense actually finished 13th in the whole conference. And as far as scoring defense, they actually didn't do that bad. 6th. David Jackson, pretty rough year. 2,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, 8 picks. Miles Montgomery was at least solid. 700 yards, 4 scores. Jay Nixon, 7 touchdowns rushing. Receiver was led by Dwayne Thomas with 528 yards, 53 catches. But Dylan Wade, 43 catches, almost the same amount of yards, but also scored 5 times. Well, I guess every UCF fan is looking forward to the eventual meteoric rise of UCF football in the year of 2026. I'm intrigued by it. And, of course, finally... Oh, wait. No, we got 2 teams left. Sorry. I almost forgot about one team. It's literally hard to see because it's so dark and I can't change it. Anyways, next up we got Utah. Of course, we got to put them in above average, right? Like, come on. And why not? I guess I'll put them in conference contenders. Like, they did have 2 ranked wins, so I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. 11-2 in Kyle Whittingham's final year with the Utes, believe it or not. I'm glad we were the team that beat him last in his final holy war. Utah did get 2 ranked wins against Arizona State and Cincinnati, both in blowouts. Almost lost to Kansas. The Kansas teams lost to BYU and Texas Tech. Yeah, I mean, they had a really solid season. Also dominated a Dylan Raiola-less Nebraska in the Las Vegas Bowl. Pretty good season, and now Whittingham's at Michigan. And Utah has now sold itself to a private equity. That will go over just well. As far as scoring offense and defense, they finished 2nd in scoring offense, 3rd in scoring defense, so they actually had a really good year. Devin Dampier was very, very solid in this game, in the season. 2,400 yards, 24 touchdowns to only 5 picks, and ran for 10 scores along with freshman Bird Ficklin. Wayshawn Parker was the leading rusher with 981 yards, 6.6 yards per carry, and 6 touchdowns. Bird Ficklin, 8 yards a carry? What the hell? Believe it or not, 3 Utah players had 10 plus touchdowns. Naquari Rogers had 11. Ryan Davis was the best receiver with 62 catches, 725 yards, 4 touchdowns. Morgan Scully is now the new coach. Let's see what they're going to do. Hopefully ass. Then finally, of course, we got West Virginia. I'm putting them in disappointing. I know they went 4-8, but they do actually have a ranked win over Houston. Won their rivalry as well, the backyard brawl in overtime, and also beat Colorado by 7 points. Oh, they also won at Houston. Almost forgot to mention that. Rich Rod's first year back in West Virginia, not terrible. Did get shut out by Texas Tech and beat by BYU in Provo, but still not a horrible start. Of course, West Virginia finished 14th in both scoring offense and defense. So apparently their best quarterback was Scotty Fox. I find that hard to believe, but 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, 6 picks. Pretty disappointing. Diori Hubbard had the most rushing, which he had only 335 yards and 4 touchdowns. Cam Vaughn was at least the only decent, really good thing about the offense. 35 catches, 540 yards, and 4 scores. Let's see how you do in your 2nd season back, Rich Rod. So that's it. That is your Big 12 tier list. ACC will be obviously coming out tomorrow, and then the Super Bowl predictions will be happening on Wednesday. Also, let me know what you agree with or disagree with as far as this list goes. That'll do it for the tier list, and that'll do it for this episode of Grizzly Talks Football. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you give this a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos. This is the Grizzly signing off for now, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, keep the Grizzly vibes at all times. Take care.